The Senate has passed a spending bill to avoid a government shutdown.
This comes after Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer switched course and voted in favor of the Republican stopgap measure.
I believe it is the best way to minimize the harm that the Trump administration will do to the American people. A shutdown would allow DOGE to shift into overdrive.
The deal cuts domestic spending by $13 billion. It also boosts money for the Department of Defense as well as Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It will also add $6 billion for Veterans Affairs programs. Despite the agreement, there are still issues that need a resolution. Jonah Kaplan is here now to help break it all down for us. Hi, Jonah.
You know, Amelia and Frank, this seems to be how Congress works these days. All these continuing resolutions that basically just means let's keep spending the money the way we have been until we can come up with a new agreement. So this CR will take us to September, but there aren't many people feeling any better about that.
The biggest vote wasn't even to pass the bill. It was the procedural motion to get to a final vote, and that needed 60 senators, including at least 7 Democrats. Minnesota Senator Tina Smith earlier this week wouldn't show her cards.
The way I see this is that you have Republicans basically forcing 2 terrible choices on the people of this country. And this is not so much for me a political challenge as it is just a challenge about how to protect people in this moment.
Smith ultimately voted no. Same with Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, who said in a statement, quote, "I will not support the partisan proposal in part because it does not include Minnesota infrastructure projects, undercuts medical care and research, and makes major changes to reduce veterans' health care, including for those exposed to burn pits." The latter argument certainly resonating with veterans on Friday who protested outside the Minnesota GOP headquarters in Edina.
One of my good friends who I served with in Vietnam is today in the VA hospital, and he's worried about his health care going to be eliminated.
I can wear a hat. I can say raise my hand and say I'm a veteran, but you know, it's one thing extra you can do. Put on a uniform that you used to wear. Show them that you are a real person.
So the vote to pass the continuing resolution, that's happening tonight. But again, once it passes, it only really takes us to September. So we may be back doing this all over again in the fall. Amelia?
All right. Thank you, Jonah.